Sly Cooper 2 Band of Thieves came out September of 2004, and despite being 18 years old at this point in time, you could still play this game and in a way think that it came out today. Many people to this day would consider this as one of the best games out there, but is it really true, that statement? Are they being nostalgic about the game, clouding their true feelings towards it? I've never seen a sequel change so much before. Jack only had a tone shift. This had a complete revamp. 2 was my favorite exposure to the Sly series. It oozes with style, charm, and immersive gameplay I could never forget. Well, to check if what they say is true, let's have a first look at the main difference between Sly 1 and Sly 2. Spoiler here, the difference between both games are huge. Starting with gameplay, instead of going for the linear level style of gameplay of Sly 1, where the main way you progressed throughout the story was by getting different keys to advance to other levels until you get to the boss fight, what they did instead, they designed small open worlds or world hubs where you have a simple mission formula to follow, doing various preparation missions like reconnaissance, bugging a room, or taking pictures of a location, or have different minigames, up until you get the big special operation mission where you would take out the big boss at the end. And these open worlds, even though they are very small compared to today's standards, it had the perfect size, and in a way they felt big enough. They didn't need to add an entire country in the game. They designed what was necessary and that was it. Besides that, Sly 2 had a health bar when Sly 1 had no health bar, and if you got hit once, you would restart to the previous area. Movement was also improved, having more control in Sly 2, having the option to either walk, run, or sneak up to an enemy, compared to running in Sly 1 all the time. All these changes would benefit Sly 2, especially when it comes to world hubs, as other games were ditching the level system for more open world games, or stick to bigger level designs to explore even more. But one major factor that helped the Sly series to hold up is the art style that Sucker Punch went for, which is named cel shading, which could be seen in games like The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Persona 5, and Dragon Ball FighterZ. This style of graphics helps this game to stand time itself, and even though it may not look visually impressive compared to games today, this art style looks great enough that it can hold up for another 5 or 10 years. They might have changed a lot of things, but they also added new features, like how this time around you would have the opportunity to play not only as Sly, but also as Murray and Bentley, and take them in the open world and explore with them, even though their movements are clearly limited compared to Sly, but the gameplay are different to one another. Murray, being stronger than the rest, can take out enemies with 2 punches, and Bentley, being weaker than the rest, he counters that with the ability to use sleeping darts and explosives, and you will be doing specific missions that are aimed for them. New gadgets and abilities were also added to have more liberty and creative ways to explore or sneak up to enemies. The story here is also another aspect that cannot be ignored. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you haven't played it,
what are you doing here?
You should expect a well-written story full of twists and unexpected turns that keeps the player engaged or scared if you are in episode 4. Some of you will know why. The voice acting and soundtrack are also top-notch, adding to the overall atmosphere and immersion of the game.
Show your bling and let me Let's dance!
So if we go back to the question, is Sly Cooper 2 Band of Thieves one of the best games out there? Well, of course it is one of the best, but it does come with some faults.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Some missions in the game were quite questionable. The last hub area is considered too long for some people, and some bosses had an additional episode to them when they could have introduced a brand new villain instead. But not every game is perfect, and that's okay. In terms of being the best out of the trilogy, most of us would choose 2 over 1 or 3. Sly 2 has its faults, but for every positive aspect that the game offers, it's done very well, and it is a solid game that could hold for another 10 years. Sly 2 is such a good game, and it's not just because it's so nostalgic. It improved a lot of things from Sly Cooper while still changing things up in a good way. I will never forget the first time I was introduced to the Sly franchise. I love the damn series. Now I'm not saying that a remaster could be done. With updated textures and models and improved animations would be a pretty nice thing. Just don't make our characters realistic, okay?